Good morning, dear students. My name is teacher George, and welcome to our class number 3. I'm pretty much excited to be with you once again in our class number 3. And we're going to get started right away, okay? All right. So to start with, I'm going to take assistance, all right? Monica Alvarez. Monica? Oh, there you are. Good morning, Monica. I'm fine, thanks. Santiago Barros. Santiago? Oh, there you are, Santiago. Good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Roberto Cáceres. Roberto? Oh, there you are. Roberto's here. Maria Fonseca. Maria. Good morning, Maria. I'm doing great, thank you. How are you? Excellent. Justin Preciado. I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I'm glad to hear. Sofia Ramirez. Good morning, Sofia. I'm doing great, thanks. All right, so we have 6 students for today's class, so let's get to it. All right, so the topic for today's class is news, okay? It's a very interesting topic, news. Who doesn't want to talk about news? Like, you find news everywhere. You find them on TV, on the newspaper, in your mobiles, you know, and through different ways, right? So today we are going to learn about news. So I'm going to start with today's date. Can somebody help me with today's date, please? Okay, today is Thursday, right? 22nd. Thursday, July 22nd, 2021. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, now I'm going to present you the class's objectives that I have for today, the class objectives that I have prepared for today carefully. So during this lesson, you guys are going to be able to, as far as speaking goes, talk about news and its different types. As far as reading goes, understand main points in short, simple text on familiar subjects, okay? And as far as writing goes, understand to write the different types of headlines. That sounds really exciting. Is everybody excited? All right, everybody is excited. Okay. All right. Okay, so as our first activity, I want you to have your mobile phone next to you, please, close to you. All right. So you're gonna take your mobile phone, and what I want you to do is I want you to download the CNN app, the CNN News app. You can find it in Google Play or in Apple Store. Okay, so I want you to download it on your cell phone, please. Okay. Yes. Is everybody downloading it? Perfect. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So once you have finished downloading the CNN News app, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to look at the different sections that the news app has, okay? Yes, I want you to tell me about the different sections that this news app has, okay? Okay, so perfect. So let's see, Monica, can you tell me some of the sections that you can find in your app? Okay, you have world, US politics, business, continue, Santiago, health, entertainment, Roberto, style, travel, sports, and videos. Perfect, good job. Okay, so as you can see, the news are divided in different sections, in different categories, okay? You have world news that talks about news about the world, US politics that only talks about, focuses into politics about the US, business that, you know, talks about negotiations and so forth, money, health that talks about, you know, anything that has to be related with health, entertainment, you know, the famous people, etc., style, fashion, travel, different places, sports, different types of sports, and all kinds of videos, okay? All right, so as you can see, the news that you can see in your news app are, like I said, they are classified in different sections, right? Like I have mentioned to you. And as you can see, I want you to look at the page, okay? And I want you to pay attention to some of the news that are there, okay? Because today we are going to learn what a headline is, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what is a headline. Today we're gonna learn the different types of headlines. So first we need to know what is a headline. So a headline of a news story is a short summary. This is very important. It's a short summary which introduces the story at the beginning of a TV or radio news broadcast, okay? Or which appears above articles in newspaper or in a website. As you can see in the page, this is a headline, right? Right? This is a headline, this is a headline, this is a headline, right? This is a headline. So you have all kinds of headlines according to the different types of categories that you choose based on your news, okay? Okay, so another explanation about headlines. Headlines in newspapers have large articles in newspapers have large headlines at the top. The headline is usually quite short, only 4 to 5 words. This is something very important. The purpose of a headline is to capture the reader's attention by making the article seem interesting and exciting, okay? So this is the purpose of a headline. The purpose of a headline is to capture the reader's attention by making the article seem interesting and exciting, right? So this is the reason why, newspapers try to put like big headlines, like with big letters, because they really want to cut your attention. Like, let's say that the world pandemic is about to end, like with big capital, and everybody will be like, whoa, right? Because it has big visual effect, right? It really cuts your attention, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna teach you the different kinds of headlines, okay? As you can see, we already know what's a headline. Okay, so now I'm gonna present you what are the different types of headlines. So the different types of headlines, we have banner head, cross line head, flush left head, side heads, flush right head, and kicker eyebrow, okay? So these are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have 5 different types of headlines, okay? So I want you to, now I want you to pay attention because I'm gonna explain each one of them, okay? Let's start with the first one, banner head. Help me reading banner head, Maria Fonseca, please. Banner headlines are attention grabbers. They set the tone and are used sparingly. The banner heads that set a full page width at the top of news page to draw attention to the lead story of a particular page, okay? So that's what the banner head is, okay? There are headlines that are attention grabbers. Like I said, they want to really get your attention, right? It says the banner head is set the full page width. As you can see, like, it's the headline here, the banner head is occupying the whole page, basically, like the entire width of the page, of the top of the news page, to draw attention to the lead story of a particular page, right? So this is what a banner head is. Now let's go the crossline head. The crossline head, help me reading crossline head, Justin Preciado, please. It does not always span the full width of the page, but it does cover all the columns of the story to which it pertains, okay? So this is a crossline head, okay? It says it does not always span the full width of the, as you can see, it's not occupying the entire width of the page, but it does cover all the columns of the story, as you can see, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 5 columns, and the crossline head is covering all the columns of the story, okay? So that's a crossline. So whenever you see a headline like this, you know that it's a crossline, okay? It's not a banner head, it's a crossline. Now we're gonna go with the flush left head. Help me read the flush left, Sofia Ramirez, please. the flush left, not the flush, the flush left head, it's a 2 or 3 line head with each line set flush, perfect, left. The lines do not have to be equal in width or set full, okay? So very interesting. It says the flush left head is a 2 to 3 line head, right? It's very different to the first two that we saw because this one has a 2 to 3 lines, right? With each line set flush left. The lines do not have to be equal in width or set full. This is something very important when it comes to the flush left head, okay? Thank you, Sophia. Continue, Monica, please. Flush right headline. Okay, in this, all lines are to the right side and run right to the left. Example, New Delhi sets record with 1,500 murders. Ceasefire in London, deployment of UN peacekeeping force soon. Number 3, Muslim world unites against US presence in Iraq. Okay, so the flush right headline, all lines are to the right side, as you can see, right? All the lines are to the right side and run right to the left, okay? And they run right to the left. As you can see, they are all to the right, but they are right to the left. So this is called the flush right headline, okay? All right, and we're gonna go with the kicker. Continue, Santiago Barros, please. Kicker, also known as a tagline, is a line that introduces the headline, can be underlined for emphasis. Example, cold weather hits, temperature drops below freezing, right? So also this one is very particular because this one is known as a tagline that introduces the headline, can be underlined for emphasis. It says can be underlined for emphasis, like cold weather hits, temperature drops below freezing, right? Okay, so we saw already what are the different types of headlines, okay? And it's different characteristics of each, okay? So, all right, so did everybody understood what's a headline? Okay, so I'm gonna ask, what's a headline, Roberto Cáceres? Okay, it's a short summary at the beginning of on the top page. Okay, yes, perfect. That introduces the story, right? What else, Maria Fonseca? Yes, that is quite short, only 4 to 5 words. However, there's different kinds of headlines, right? As you could see, there's the banner head, the flush right, the flush left, the kicker, right? Thank you. So is everybody clear as far as headlines go and its different types? Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, so let's continue. Now we are going. What I want you to do is, I want you to go to your news page app, and I want you to select. I want you to select a piece of news from the different sections that you have available. You have plenty to choose. Okay, so I want you to pick a piece of news from the section that you like best, and so that you can share it with the rest of the class. Okay. All right. So let's pick a section and a piece of news, please. You have 2 minutes for this activity. Yes, pick a headline. First, pick the section, whether it's world, US politics, business, health, entertainment, style, travel, sports, or videos. Okay. And then within these sections, you're gonna pick a piece of news, and then you're gonna share it with the rest of the class, okay? Okay, all right. So you have 2 minutes to do this. Okay. All right. Yes, you have to go to your news page app and select a piece of news that based on the different sections that you have available in your phone. Okay. Yes. Okay, so let's get to it. Who's ready? Monica. Okay, share your piece of news, please. Okay, so the section that you picked is world. Okay, so we are in world, and the piece of news that you picked is around 100 kidnapped women and children rescued in Nigeria. Okay, so as you can see, where's the headline here, sweetie? Okay, at the top, correct. Around 100 kidnapped women and children rescued in Nigeria. Okay, perfect. So did everybody saw the piece of news that Monica picked? Okay, so she picked it from which section? World, correct. Okay, now let's go with Santiago. Yes. Santiago. Okay, so Santiago is gonna share his piece of news now. Okay, so which section should I go to, Santiago? Okay, so Santiago's telling me that I should go to entertainment. Okay, so I'm gonna go to entertainment. Santiago's gonna show us the piece of news that he picked from the section of entertainment, okay? All right. So Santiago picked Space Jam, A New Legacy. Let's LeBron James jump into Michael Jordan's shoes, okay? So this, Santiago, what does this news piece of news belongs to which section? Entertainment, okay? So where's the headline? This one, right? Space Jam, A New Legacy. Let's LeBron James jump into Michael Jordan's shoes, right? Perfect, okay. All right, let's go with the next student. Okay, let's go with the next student. Roberto. Okay, are you ready, Roberto? Okay, so Roberto's telling me that I should go to style. Okay, so I'm gonna go to style. Okay, and Roberto is gonna share us his the piece of news that he picked. Okay. Okay, so here I am in the entertainment section, Roberto. Okay, so here I am, and Roberto picked this piece of news. And what does it say? Rare 19th century images show China at the dawn of photography. Okay, so what section does this piece of news belong to, Roberto? To style, correct. And where's the headline? Is this one, right? Perfect. It seems that everybody understood what a headline is and its different types, okay? Now, talking about headlines, now I wanna teach you that there are some phrases that when you are reading the news, right? When you are reading the news, there are some phrases that you can use to show your feelings and your emotions to react to the types of news that you are presented, okay? So one of them is hit the headlines. Okay, hit the headlines means like it's like a big piece of news, okay? It's like a major news piece of news, okay? It's like a big one. It's like a big thing, okay? Hit the headlines. That's shocking. That's awesome. That's astonishing. It's hard to believe. Okay, so as you can see, you have the admiration signs at the end. So make sure that you put the emphasis on the tone of voice when you pronounce these phrases, okay? It's very important that you say that because you're showing your emotion. So I want you to repeat after me, okay? Hit the headlines. That's shocking. That's awesome. That's astonishing. It's hard to believe. Perfect. Okay. All right. So now what I want you to do is I'm gonna make groups, okay? I'm gonna put you in pairs, okay? We're gonna do pair work, okay? So I'm gonna do groups. Okay, so group number 1 is gonna be Monica and Santiago. Roberto with Maria, and Justin with Sophia, okay? So what I want you to do in your groups is, I want you to, because not everybody got the chance to share the piece of news that they selected, I want you to share with your partner the news that you picked, okay? The news that you picked, but I want your partner to react with expressions that you learned when your partner is sharing the news, okay? All right, so let's get to it, okay? Perfect, all right, so you can start now, okay? You can start now. We're going to share the news that we didn't get a chance to, the ones that we didn't get a chance to share our news, okay, with our partners. Okay, you have 2 minutes for this activity. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, so group number 1 is Maria and Santiago. Group number 2, Roberto and Maria. Group number 3, Justin and Sophia. Okay. All right. Okay, perfect. All right, so I want the groups to be ready to. Okay, so I want the groups to, group number 1, please expose your news, and I want to hear the answer from your partner, okay? All right. Haiti's acting Prime Minister Claude Joseph to step down amid power struggle after president's assassination. What's Santiago's reaction? That's shocking, right? That's shocking, like, because it's something very big, it's something very major, right? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go with the group number 2. Okay, let's go with the group number 2. Okay, all right. Okay, so go ahead for the group number 2. Is Roberto and Maria. Okay. Italy towns want to pay you 33K to move in. Italy towns want to pay you 33K to move in. What's Maria's reaction? That's astonishing, right? Excellent, perfect. That's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to react the exact same way how the group number 2 did, okay? All right, okay. All right, so now we have the group number 3. Okay, group number 3. I want you to expose your piece of news, please. I want you to expose your pair work. Okay, so, okay. So the piece of news that they are going to expose is in the section world. Okay. Okay. All right. So the group number 3 is Justin and Sophia. Okay. So it says Indonesia overtakes India as Asia's new COVID-19 epicenter. That's hard to believe, right? That's hard to believe. Perfect. Perfect. That's excellent. That was really good, guys. So did you see how you have to use the phrases to react and show emotion when it comes to reacting to the different types of news? Right? Okay, perfect. All right. So for the next, now let's go with the next activity. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little exercise. I want to, I'm going to pretend to be a news anchor, okay, I'm going to pretend to be a news anchor to motivate you to speak English regarding the, I'm going to present couple pieces of news, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to discuss with your partner by making questions about the type of news that I'm going to present you, okay? All right. Okay, so is everybody ready to start? So when I present a piece of news, I want you to make a question to your partner and your partner has to react and establish a conversation, okay? All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel number 4. My name is George. So I bring you today's news for today's news broadcast, okay? Health study estimates 1.5 million children lost parents and grandparents due to COVID-19, okay? All right, so group number 1, I want you to react, okay? I want you to react. That's shocking. What's going to happen with all of those children that they lost their parents and grandparents? Roberto's asking. Answer, Maria. We don't know, right? It's really concerning. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the piece of news number 2. Child cases of COVID-19 are rising as schools gear up to reopen, but vaccines for the youngest are still months away. Okay, so group number 2, Monica and Santiago, I want you to react, please. It's hard to believe. Perfect. I think it's a bad idea. I think that's a bad idea that schools are going to reopen if the youngest aren't vaccinated yet. What do you think, Sophia? Please, Sophia, answer. You do agree, right? You do agree that is not a good idea, right? Okay, all right. Let's go with the piece of news number 3. Attack, rejected, and harass. Asians around the world speak out on a workplace discrimination. Okay. Okay. The last group, please interact. That's shocking. Why are Asians attacked this way? We don't know, right? We don't know. Like sometimes people just act in different weird, like in a very weird way. Like we don't know why people sometimes act the way they do. That's not normal. That's not common, right? Perfect. Okay, good job, guys. Good job. Okay. All right. So now what I want you to do is, I want you to find out and make a list of recent news events that happened recently in your town, okay? You're going to find pieces of news and make a list of events that recently happened in your news town, okay? All right, so let's get to it. Make a list of pieces of news that happened in your news town. And pay attention to the next video that I'm going to present you. That is the title of the video is Tips, Video TV News Answer Presentation Tips, okay? All right, let's pay attention to the video. Okay, so here it goes.
For a few tips on how to make this very easy and very natural for you to do. After all, this is the opportunity for you to
please pay attention to what
so to
the
speak,
speaker is saying. This is very important.
So be yourself. Let them see who you are, your heart, your humanity, and what you bring to the table for them. Just be yourself. When you talk to the camera,
be yourself.
The camera as you would another person. In other words, you're not going to just
pretend that you're talking to another person, but you're looking at the camera. You have to pretend, almost like you're acting.
Just be comfortable, be relaxed. Don't script out everything that you think you want to say. You'll just wind up going on and on. It'll be difficult to memorize. So again, speak from the heart. Basically, the idea is we're going to be giving you that home run pitch, that soft pitch for you to hit it out of the park, showing your potential.
Pay attention to the pronunciation, please.
You know what you're talking about, that you're the expert on this, and you'll just be telling them what you already know. So just give yourself some bullet points on the things that you want them to know about you and the subject that we're talking about. So go by those bullet points. If you're sitting down, and which you probably will be for the interview, let me show you a few tips. Here's an old anchorman tip. So when you get the chair, what you want to do, and you sit down in your chair, you want your jacket to be male or female, doesn't make any difference. You want your coat to sit well on the shoulders, that it's not banging up around the neck. So what you do when you sit down.
Okay, all right. So did you see the tips for presenting pieces of news? Okay, because we're gonna be doing an activity regarding that, okay, later on. But first, what I want you to do is, does everybody have their phones with them? Okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to talk as an independent practice activity. What we're gonna do is we're going to, do you remember that I asked you to make a list of news, pieces of news that happened recently in your town? Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to record me an audio file, okay, in which you're gonna be talking about pieces of news that happen in your town. But try to, you know, talk about coronavirus, pandemic matters, the weather, earthquakes, okay? And send it to me so that I can hear your tone of voice and the pronunciation, okay? Yes, I want you to do this right now, please. Yes, in an audio file. Okay? Perfect. Yes, the messages are coming in. Perfect. Okay, awesome. You guys did complete the activity. Okay, so continuing. Okay, so did you pay attention to the video that I just presented you? Okay, because this is what we're gonna do in our next activity, okay? I'm gonna send you a link to a platform, it's called Visia, okay? In this activity, in this platform, what I want you to do is I want you to record, okay? I want you to record a video in which you're going to pretend to be a news anchor, okay? I want you to pretend to be a news anchor in which you're gonna be presenting the pieces of news that I asked you to present, okay? And the important thing with this activity is that you have to put the intonation and the tone of voice, okay? The same way how I did it, okay? All right, so you're gonna record it and you're gonna upload it in this platform, okay? All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, so as our final activity, what I want you to do is I want you to write from the pieces of news that you picked. What I want you to do is I want you to pick one of those pieces of news and write it in a color paper, and I want you to stick it in your board, okay? So I have prepared the spaces for each student to place your piece of news written in a color paper and place it in your board, okay? Yes, please. Okay. All right, so to finish up with our class, because we're running out of time, I'm gonna do a quick review of what we saw today. So today we learned, the topic for today's class was talking about news. We learned about the different types of headlines that we have. We learned what's a headline, the different types of headlines. We learned that the pieces of news are divided in different sections. We saw the different types of headlines. We were able to interact with our partner by expressing our feelings and emotions through phrases to show emotion to headlines, okay? We established a conversation with our partner regarding headlines. We recorded an audio presenting news, making sure that we raise our tone of voice, that in which you send it to me over an audio file. You are going to record a video. We watched the video of the video TV news anchor presentation tips. We're going to record a video in the Visia platform, and we're gonna upload it here, okay? And as a final activity, we're going to write a piece of news and in a color paper, and we're gonna stick it in our board, okay? Perfect. Well, does anybody have any question? Is everything clear? Everybody understood today's topic? Everybody did, all right? Perfect. Well, I'm glad to hear. As far as I'm concerned, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to see you in our next class, okay? Have yourselves a great day, and I will see you in our next class. All right, take care. Bye for now. Bye. Bye-bye.